My name is Dallas Mackenzie, and I am a voice actress based here out of Toronto. Today we are here to talk about two awesome microphones, the Neumann TLM 103 and the Austrian Audio OC18. Let's get started. I've been using the TLM 103 as my primary microphone for about 6 months now, and I haven't totally loved the way that it's jived with my voice. Looking around, I found a couple other female voice actors who were saying similar things to the issues I was having, and one microphone that kept coming up as a response to these issues was the Austrian Audio OC18. So I did as I tend to do when I'm looking for some new gear. I went to YouTube to find some reviews and samples, and I did find a couple videos of people comparing these two microphones, but the people comparing them were always people with male voices. And I always feel like I have to take those kind of reviews with a grain of salt, because even though it might sound great on their voice, I don't always know how that's going to sound on my voice. So I just bought an OC18 to compare the two mics myself, and since I got them both here now, I thought I would do a proper shootout to try to help out another voice actor who is maybe also looking to upgrade or switch mics and wants to hear how these two compare with a more feminine voice. Now that introduction is out of the way, let's get down to business. Both of these mics are plugged into my SSL2 Plus. Both inputs are set to the exact same gain, and these are both completely raw recordings, save for normalizing them both to -3 dB. Let's start by taking a closer look at the TLM 103. Neumann is obviously a major name in this space, and I think a lot of voice actors look to this microphone as a holy grail type microphone. The TLM 103 retails at about $1,400 Canadian dollars, which is about $1,100 USD, and the shock mount comes separate from that. So if you're looking to pick up the shock mount as well, you'll be looking at another couple $100 to buy it separately or to purchase a bundle that includes the microphone and shock mount together. Now, like I said, this is a very popular microphone, and that can have a lot of benefit when working with clients, since just about everyone will be familiar with this mic, and audio engineers will generally know how to work with it. However, it is also very sensitive and very prone to plosives. So if you're going to run this mic, you're going to want to use a foam filter or a pop filter along with it to account for that. From what I've seen, this and the kind of harshness that comes at its high end is one of the biggest complaints I see come up against this microphone. The Austrian Audio OC18 is a newer microphone. Austrian Audio as a company was born from the closure of the AKG offices in Vienna in only 2017, so you won't see the same kind of following from their microphones as you would from a Neumann. However, this mic retails at a much lower price point than the 103. You can pick up the studio set, which includes the mic, the shock mount, this little foam filtery guy, and this fancy case for only about $1,000 Canadian dollars, or about $850 American dollars. So this guy is $1,100 USD, and this one is about $850 USD. So you can tell there's a pretty significant difference in price between the two. One of the things to know about the OC18 is that it features a couple switches on the front of the microphone itself. One switch allows for gain control from the microphone itself, and one acts as a high-pass filter. Let me demonstrate these for you. So on here, I can switch this microphone to, there we go, to -10 dB on here. And you can tell that it's kind of like gross when you do that. So this is not something you want to do in the middle of a take, but if you do suddenly find that you have a yelling scene coming up, you might want to make that switch. And then we can actually also go all the way down to -20 dB, which brings the volume down even further. So this might be good when you're doing like really loud screaming scenes and you don't want to have to go outside of your booth to fiddle with your gain control. It is a little handy to have it right on the microphone itself. Let me just switch this back. The other switch we have on here is a high-pass filter, which allows us to roll off some of the bass while we're recording. So we'll just flip to the first option here. There we go. So this one rolls off anything recorded at 40 hertz and down. So those frequencies just don't get transmitted at all through the microphone. And the next setting goes to 80 hertz. So now everything under 80 hertz is being completely blocked from coming through the microphone. And the final section is 160 hertz. So everything 160 hertz and below just doesn't get transmitted through to your DAW. This could be handy for some scenarios where you're finding you're getting some muddiness from the bass and you just want to roll all of that off. However, none of this seems like a make or break moment to a microphone to me. All of this can also be done in other places or in post-processing, so this doesn't feel like the greatest advantage to me, but it could be something that matters a lot to you. Let me just set this all back to normal. Now that we've given an overview of both of these mics, I kind of just want to take them on a head-to-head battle in a couple different scenarios to see how they perform against each other. The first thing I want to do is take a closer look at that proximity effect. So if I just get all up nice, close, and personal to the TLM 103, you should hear that proximity effect engage. And I'm so sorry now that we're up here, I'm sure you're going to get a bunch of gross little mouth noises and it might get a little plosive-y. But I just wanted to give you this kind of example of how the TLM 103 sounds when I'm up here engaging that proximity effect. And then if I move over here to the OC18, I think we should hear a different proximity effect come through. One of the reasons that I really wanted to do this is I think the TLM 103 has a very prominent proximity effect. So I just really wanted to be able to compare and contrast the two of them right side by side so that you could hear what the difference between these two mics is. And then I'll take a little step back so you don't have to be all up close and personal with me anymore. Actually, I did want to test something. So one of the reasons that the high-pass filter might be handy on this microphone is when I'm engaging that proximity effect. A proximity effect is basically just a bass boost as you get closer to a microphone. So if I turn on this high-pass filter, I've turned it up to 160 hertz, so this should be the harshest that it will do. I just want to see if this makes any discernible difference in this recording, because I am still up close and personal with it. We're still engaging that proximity effect, but if we roll off some of that bass, what does that end up doing to the final recording? We're learning together. I also don't know. I'll listen back to it later. So one other thing that I wanted to test with these guys is kind of what their range sounds like. So I'm going to take a step back to the back of my booth. Oh, and this framing is gorgeous now. But if I'm back here, I just wanted to hear kind of how the microphones might pick this up a little bit differently when I'm standing as far back as I can. I'm probably about, I don't know, I can't reach it. I'm 3 feet away, 4 feet away from the microphones now. One other thing that I wanted to test was just like, if I start like, if I'm way over here, and then I'm way over here, and then I'm up, and then I'm down, and I'm kind of jumping to the left, to the right, I'm doing some like figure eights. What does this do to the microphone? How does this pick up? Does it pick up well? I don't know. I don't really know why you would want to move around this much in the booth either, but maybe you do. So how do these microphones handle this situation? Maybe they're the exact same. Maybe they're totally different. I haven't tested it before, so here we are together. And just finally, one last little thing. The man, the myth, the legend, Mike Delgadio also reviewed this microphone, and in his review, he points out a minor issue he had with the OC18 shock mount, where his would not sit properly in its mount, and it was always constantly loose. And I just wanted to confirm that that is not something I have experienced with this microphone and with this shock mount that I have. So mine screwed in very tightly. I could hang this upside down. It would not fall out. That was a concern I know he had, and I just wanted to confirm that the microphone should fit into its shock mount properly, and if it doesn't, I'm sure Austrian Audio will be able to help either refund you or send you a new one or help you out somehow, because it should fit properly. And I think that's it. I've only been testing the OC18 for a couple of days now, but I've been pretty happy with it so far. Let me know your thoughts. I'm probably going to be selling or returning whichever one of these I don't decide to run with long term, and so I'd love to know what you think they sound like on my voice, or if you have run them yourself, I would love to know your experience with either of these mics as well. Maybe we can have a nice little discussion down in the comments section. In any case, I hope you found this helpful. Until next time, I hope you stay happy and healthy. See ya!